Was.
So we're going to start in standing today, and we're just going to do a nice little couple of warm-up exercises. So we're going to start with hip width apart on the feet, and we're going to bend the knees slightly, right? So when you bend the knees, I still want you to have that nice tall spine. You're not, scooped or hunched over. You're staying tall through the spine. And we're going to keep our legs in this position. So we are not going to straighten and bend and straighten and bend. We're just staying here. All right. So from this place, we're going to do some half roll downs. So we're going to draw that chin into the chest. We're going to feel the belly pull in like we're lifting our body up and over a big ball as we curl down just about halfway. And I get to this point where I start to feel a stretch through my back, kind of lower back, and that's my indication to stop. Take a nice deep breath in here. Keep those knees bent and start at the low belly and start picking that spine up and start stacking that vertebra all the way back to a straight spine position. And it's really hard to keep those knees bent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no straightening the knees. All right, let's try it again. And chin comes to chest. Scoop up and over that imaginary ball in front of you. When you get to that halfway point, let your arms release. Make sure you're relaxed. Start at that low belly again and exhale. Pull it up and stack up through the spine. And all the way, good. We're just gonna do 2 more of those. And chin down, scoop, lower halfway down, start to feel that stretch through the low back. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale, pull up through that low belly, and just keep lifting as you stack that vertebra all the way up. One more time. And chin to chest, scoop up and over. Keep that belly lifted. Deep breath in. Exhale, pull up through that low belly. Keep lifting all the way up through that straightened spine. And then straighten those legs and relax for a moment.
That's so hard.
Isn't that weird? It's really challenging to keep those knees bent. It forces you to really focus on doing it from the belly and not the legs. So we're going to kind of keep that same feeling of thought, but we're going to do it side to side. Okay, so this is another one that feels a little odd at first. So we're going to go right back into that position where our knees are bent. Arms are just relaxed by your side, right? We're not moving from our hips down, but we're going to bend towards the right, or to the left, sorry, bend to the left. Let that left arm kind of reach down towards the floor. So when we come back up, we're still starting with the low belly, and we're picking up the spine segmentally until we land in that straight spine position again. Staying in this bent knee position. Let's go to the right. And bend over towards the right. Take that right hand, reach it towards that floor. Hold. As you exhale again, start at that low belly. Pull it in and lift up. Stacking yourself all the way. Make sure you go to that nice relaxed shoulder when you come up to the top. And over to the left. And as you exhale, pull that belly in, lift back up. And over to the right. And exhale, pull that belly in, lift and stack that vertebra up. Let's just do one more on each side. And over to the left. And exhale. And over to the right. And exhale. All the way back up. We're going to stand tall on those legs. And then from here, all we're going to do is just some nice neck release. So we're just going to let one ear kind of drop towards one shoulder. And then we're going to pick it back up. And we're going to let that ear drop to the other shoulder. And we're going to pick it back up. And then we're going to let the chin nod to the chest. And then we're going to take the chin up. A little bit of an arch, but don't let your head just fall back. Come back to center. So go and start at the opposite shoulder. So ear to opposite shoulder, and up, and ear to the shoulder, and up. Nod that chin down to the chest. Bring that chin up, looking to the ceiling and back to center. Let's go back to the first side we started on. And ear to shoulder and up. Ear to shoulder and up. Chin to the chest and chin to the ceiling, looking to the ceiling. And last side here, and ear to shoulder and up. Ear to shoulder and up. Chin nods to the chest and chin comes up and back to center and relax. All right, so we're gonna need our bands. So grab our bands and we're just gonna go ahead and lie down on your mat. And we're gonna start with some foot warm up, foot and ankle. Actually, it's more like a shin, foot, ankle, and shin. So I'm gonna put this on my right foot, it doesn't matter whose foot. And I like my foot, I like the band to be really wide, and I like my foot to be kind of almost where my toes are covered. And tension is up to you. So the more tension you have here, the more challenging you're gonna make it for yourself. So if it gets to be a little too much to that shin after a while, go ahead and lessen the tension, right? So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're just gonna start by trying to get our body in the correct position. So we're gonna lower that leg down towards the floor. And when you get it lowered to the floor, I want you to find your neutral pelvis. So you shouldn't feel that your low back is pressing into the mat. You should have that natural curvature to your low back. Try to maintain that as you lift that leg back up. Maybe feeling that little stretch through the back of the leg. Let's just do that a couple of times. Down and up, so that you can really feel that you can keep your pelvis from wanting to come back to a imprint. You don't want to do an imprint. You want to try to keep it in control. So let's lift it up this time. And this time we're going to hold it here. So find your tension. For me, I like a little extra, so I'm going to grab up a little higher. I'm going to pull my elbows down towards my side. And I'm going to keep my elbows on the floor here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to flex my ankle. So now my heel is kind of reaching to the ceiling. And then I'm going to press up through the band as I kind of point the ball of my foot towards the ceiling. So I'm flexing my ankle and I'm extending my ankle. And I don't want you to actually point big time through the actual toes. You'll lose the band if you do that. Reach up through the ball of the foot. Make that the point of reference that you actually reach to the ceiling, pressing up through that ball of the foot. And try, if you can, to get as much range of motion as possible here. So nice big flexion, feeling that little stretch come into the calf. Nice big extension, feeling that work come into the calf. You should feel that calf having to connect. So let's just do 3 more. And 3, keep those elbows down. And 2, shoulders out of the ears. And 1, we're going to go into flexion. And now we're going to just go into circles with the ankle. So try not to move the leg. Just try to circle through the ankle. And again, range of motion is really important here. So try to think about where your pelvis is sitting. Make sure you're in neutral. The leg is not circling through the hip. It is only circling through the ankle. You're feeling this work kind of below the knee, right? Anywhere below the knee is good. And let's do 3. Nice and slow. 2, nice and big. 1 more. And then we're just going to reverse that. So go the other way. Remember, you can lessen the tension or make it more. Whatever feels good. Right? Nice big range of motion. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. And we're going to go right back to lowering that leg down to the floor and picking it up again. So just that nice kind of up and down and up. 1 more. And when we come up, this time we're going to open the leg out and we're just going to let that leg circle back down to the floor and lift it right back up the center. Open and circle. So try to keep those hips nice and stable. And now the movement clearly is through the hip. So we're just letting that leg circle through that hip socket Let's do one more in this direction. Come up, let's reverse it. Down, open out, feel that stretch on the open, and then bring it back to center and down. Okay. See if you can do this without letting that pelvis scoop back and forth. Let's do 2. And one more. Up to the ceiling. Go ahead and just take that other foot, step into the band, and switch that out. So let's start again. So find your tension on the band. Bring those elbows down by your side. And let's lower that leg down to the floor. Hold it there for a moment. Find that neutral pelvis. Find that nice natural arch in the back. And let's try to hold that. Lifting that leg up and then lowering it down. So just a few of these here. Up and down. Feeling that nice stretch come into the back of the leg. And 2. So we're going to lift and we're going to hold. So right here, we're going right into that flexion and extension of the ankle. So we're going to flex that ankle and then we're going to extend it. And don't think that the knee has to be perfectly straight here. It does not have to be locked out. Even if you have it a little bent, it's fine, right? As long as you're not constantly flexing the knee and extending the knee, right? This is all about the ankle. So just try to hold the leg, whatever placement you have, try to hold the leg in that place. And think about where your chin is sitting. Try to keep it down and not poked up to the ceiling. Let's do 5. Nice big range of motion. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go into that nice deep flexion. So we're going to go into those ankle circles. Pick your direction. Doesn't matter which way you start. But try to keep that leg nice and still. And make the movement through the circle nice and slow. Really methodical, right? Really thinking of making that circle. Reaching up and around and down, over and up. So really nice big circle. Try to keep that leg from wanting to circle. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Let's go ahead and reverse it. Reach up and around. And we always have a dumb side. So one side always tends to work a little bit better than the other. And almost there. Let's do 3 more. 3 and 2 and 1. And lower that leg down. And let's just lift it up again. And lower that leg down. And up one more time. And this time as we come up, let's just open the leg. Let it circle around and down. And then back up. Open. So those elbows are still down. Those shoulders are still out of the ears. 2. And 1 more. Land with that leg up to the ceiling. Reverse that circle down. Open out and up to the stretch as you bring it in. And nice big circles. Really, it's just keep the pelvis down, right? That's the main thing. And 2 more. Last one. Bring it up to the ceiling. Go ahead and take that other foot, stuff it into the band, and slowly lower those legs down to the floor. We're going to then lengthen those arms. You still have tension on that band. And we're going to do a roll up. So you have that band helping you here. We're going to think of lengthening those arms. I'm going to lift my arms a little bit, and I'm going to think of reaching my fingers and my hands towards my feet. As I exhale, bring my chin into my chest as my head lifts. And as I continue to reach for my feet, I'm going to curl all the way up. And when I get to the top, I'm going to stack up that vertebra, and I'm going to sit nice and tall. So let's just do a couple of these curl downs to kind of warm up, and then we'll move on. So from here, let's start at the low belly. Pull it in. Feel that low back kind of open. Feel our tailbone tuck. And slowly roll it down. Think about that articulation. Same kind of articulation we were getting on our half roll downs in standing. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, chin to chest. Reach for the feet. Nice and slow. Pull the belly in as you curl up. And stack up that vertebra. One more just like that. And scoop it out. Curl it down. Nice and slow. All the way down. And deep breath in. And exhale, chin to chest. And up. And sit up nice and tall. So you do not have to take the band away, okay, to do this next part. You can keep the band. What we're going to do is we're going to do curl downs and curl ups again, so that's still what we're doing. But this time, we're going to do it in thirds. So we're going to go down a third, and we're going to pause. And we're going to go down another third. We're going to pause before rolling all the way down. We're going to roll all the way up, and we're going to do that 3 times, and then we're going to reverse it. So we'll roll down first, come up a third, come up a third, up all the way, okay? So let's start with the roll down on the third. So if you don't have the band, your hands are in front of you. We're going to start with that scoop, and we're going to pull it in, and we're going to curl back just to where we start to feel those abdominals really kick in. Hold here, little pause. As we exhale again, continue down, almost to where you feel like you're going to lose it if you let go. Hold, and then we curl all the way down. If you're not in the band, your arms come up. We're going to just do a regular roll up, chin to chest. Curl up, roll it all the way up, and stack up that vertebra. So let's do that again. And scoop it out. Come down about a third. Hold, deep breath in. And come down another third. Hold, keep looking at your feet. Deep breath in. Exhale, curl all the way down. Arms up. Scoop, let's curl up. Let's do that again. One more time on the down. And scoop out that belly. Curl it down a third. Keep that belly pulling in. And exhale down another third. Hold, keep looking at those toes. And exhale, curl all the way down. And let's curl up one last time in this position. All right, so last set. We curl all the way down first. We come up in those thirds. So nice, tall seated position. Scoop out the belly. Curl all the way down to the mat. Try to keep those shoulders out of the ears. As we wrap those arms around, or we take that band and reach to the feet, we come up, but we stop just as we come up. Looking at our toes, we're pausing. We're going to curl up deeper, really keep that scoop. Hold, deep breath in, and exhale, curl all the way up. Sit up nice and tall. Let's curl it all the way down and pull it back. Arms wrap around and chin to chest. Just as you lift off that floor, pull that belly in, look at those toes. And exhale, curl up, but keep that deep scoop of the belly. Hold and curl all the way up. And we are on our last one, and curl it down. Arms up. And arms by your side, chin to chest. Scoop, look at those toes. Pull that belly deep, deep, deep. And curl up another third, hold. And exhale. Reach for those feet. Nice big stretch. And we are going to do another curl down, but we're going to stay down there. So if you don't have the, if you have the band, you can let go of the band. And let's just go ahead and do our curl down all the way to the mat. Once we get there, we're just going to bend those knees. And we're going to take a nice deep breath, let our belly kind of stretch a little bit. We're going to do some releasing through the spine through our bridging. So on this one, we're going to start with our curl, which means we're going to imprint that spine. So as we exhale, we're going to pull that belly in nice and deep. Feel that pelvis tip back and then peel it up off that mat, coming into your bridge. Feeling the glutes connect. We're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly start from the top of the shoulders as we release that spine. And think of reaching the vertebra away from the last one as you roll it down, like you're stretching the spine towards your feet on that roll down. Let's try that again. Deep breath in. Draw that belly in, scoop it out, and press it up. And deep breath in, and exhale, roll down. All the way. And all the way to your neutral. So let's just do that again. And scoop it back. Curl it up. Deep breath in at the top. And curl down. Just a couple more. And up. Think about peeling up off that spine as you come up to your bridge. And then laying that spine down like a string of pearls, one vertebra at a time. And last one. And scoop. And up. And curl it down. And rest. And I'm just going to have you pull those knees into your chest. And hug those knees into chest. You can rock back and forth. You just want to really stretch out that low back. So we are going to move to some side lying work. And we're going to be there for a while.
That's scary.
But we're going to do different things. We're not just going to do like the glute work and everything. We're going to kind of move our way around. So we are going to turn onto your side. And we're going to come all the way down onto our arms. So I like to have my arms straight. Some people like to make a little pillow, which is fine. Doesn't really matter. We are going to concentrate on some glute here, right? So a lot of the times when we do side lying work, we're in our hip on top, kind of that top hip area. But for today, I would like you to try to concentrate on the back of your glute, kind of hamstring, top of the hamstring, low glute, okay? So from here, we're going to take that top leg. Our knees are slightly bent, just like they would be in side lying. We're going to take that top leg and we're going to lift it up. And we're going to take our knee and press it back just far enough to where if I were to look at my hip and my knee, they would be in a straight line, okay? And so what that means is my hip is open in the front. If you find that your knee is forward, you're going to find a crease in the front of your leg, and that's not what I want. I want you to keep that hip in the front open. So already from this position, I've initiated your glute, okay? Just from being here. So we're going to start from this position. We're not going to come forward of it, only back. So we're going to draw that belly up and in, flex that ankle, and we're just going to press that heel behind you, just until you feel that glute connect a little more. And then we're going to bring it forward, but not too far, and then press it back. And forward. So what becomes important here is that you have to think about your low belly, right? You can't let it go, because the minute you do, your ribs are going to fly forward, the rib cage is going to open, and you're going to arch your back. And that is a no. Please do not arch your back. So we do not want to go into that arched back. We want to stay in that neutral position, and it's that neutral position that is going to cause us to use those glutes even more. All right. So we're going to press that leg back as far as you can. Find that glute. Now, extend that leg to straight, but don't bring it forward. Keep reaching it behind you. Now, bend that knee again. And straighten that leg. Keep that belly pulling in. That belly is what is supporting your low back. If you find your low back is engaging, bring that leg forward a little bit further. Reach and bend. And reach and bend. Let's do 3. And 2. And 1. Hold it out there. So you've got that leg somewhat behind you. Your leg is long. I want you to again flex that ankle, and we're just going to do little pulses behind you. Pulse, pulse, and really concentrate on that glute. Pull that belly in. Keep that low back from wanting to arch. And let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. bend that knee, bring it in, right? So when we do this next one, we're going to actually kind of turn slightly onto our, we're going to straighten our legs. We're going to turn so that our top arm is on the forearm, okay? So the top, opposite. Oh yeah, no, you have it, right, okay. Yep, right, no, opposite. Forearm in the front for you, Phyllis, forearm in the front. Because then that back arm is going to come down here and you're going to rest your head on the back arm, all right? So we're going to bend that knee again. And this time we're kind of a little bit, almost in a little bit of an external. So I want you to think of keeping the knee up, not down, right? If you keep the knee up, almost like you're trying to turn it to a little bit of an external position, then that'll be better. And you're on kind of part of your belly, right? So from this position, we're going to bring that knee forward. And then we're going to keep that knee bent as we press that knee back. Bend that knee forward. And press that knee back. Pull up on the belly right here. And bend. And press back. And bend. And press back. And bend. And back. And bend. Now we're pressing back. We're holding. And we're going to just pulse back. Little pulses. Try to reach the foot, not only behind you, but kind of up. Up, up, press behind, reach, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, reach that leg out to straight, hold it behind you, and bend it back in. And reach it out to straight, hold it behind you and bend it back in. So try not to let that knee come forward as you're straightening and as you're bending. Let's do 3. And 2. And 1, hold it straight. And we pulse it back, back, back. 3, 2, now hold. Point the toe to the floor and bring it in front of you. Tap it on the floor, in front of the other foot. So tap it on the, yep, in front of the other foot. Then when you pull it back, it's up and out at an angle. Forward tap, up and out. Forward tap, up and out. Let's do 3. 2, 1, and rest and relax. Good. We are going to come up on our forearms and we're going to bend those knees again. So kind of this comfortable position, right? Or at least I find this position comfortable. So from here, we're going to kind of stay lifted. So don't let your rib cage that's towards the floor, don't let it sink to the floor, right? We want to keep that rib cage lifted, kind of pressing up through that hand. And we're going to go to our toes, heels together, and we're going to go to just this clam position. So all we're going to do is just some nice little clams. Just up and down, and up, and up. Good, let's do 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Come down. So, if you want to stick with that, you can, right? Our next one, we're going to do those clams again, but we're going to take our hips and we're going to lift them off the mat. So, a little plank-like position, right? And we're going to go right back to those clams. And up, up, up. Let's do 2. On the last one, hold it open. Slowly lower the hips to the mat. Lift them right back up. Hold that knee open and lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. 2. And 1. And lower down and rest. Whew.
Very good.
All right, bring that arm over under head again. Straighten those legs all the way out. Moving kind of a little bit to your oblique here. So from here, we want to concentrate on that top waist area. We're going to take that top hand, just kind of let it rest in front. We're going to straighten those legs all the way out, glue them together. And as you exhale, pull that belly in, send those legs out and up. Inhale, lower down. And again, exhale. And down. And up. And down. So we're trying to keep that little space, right, underneath the waist. Just getting into that little lift of the legs. All right, last one. So when we do the next one, we're going to try to lift our head, almost like you're reaching your legs in one direction as your head lifts and reaches in the opposite. We're going to form a tunnel under our armpit. So as we exhale, we're going to lift those legs, lift that head, and then lower all the way back down. And again, reach those legs out. Reach the head in the opposite direction. Lift off that armpit and lower down. And up. 2 more just like this. And last one. Good. So if you want, we're going to add on to this. You can stay in the position that you're at, or your extra challenge is to reach that arm by your side. Nice balance. All right. The key here is to keep the lat engaged. So the arm has to be kind of long and reaching towards the feet. So as you come up in that same position, you're lifting your head, but you're reaching your arm towards those feet. And then you're coming down. So try not to let the hip roll back. Let's try to keep it as straight as you can.
I think I better put a pad there.
Yeah, you might be able to. It might help. And lift. Good. Really reaching those leg and that head away from each other. Reach. One more time. And reach. And rest. Good job. All right, our last challenge here. We are going to come back to our forearm. And as we come up, we're going to, you don't have to come to feet. So let me just show you really quickly. We can come to knees, okay? Or when you come up, you press all the way out to feet, okay? So we're going to be adding on to that. So let's just start with 3 of those, all right? So arm by your side. As you come up to your plank, choose your poison here if you want feet, or if you want all the way to your knees, or to your knees or your feet. Lower back down. And up. And down. And up. And down. Okay. So 2 of these big ones, right? So it's up and over. We're going to stay there as we reach our arm under, come back up before we come back down. We're doing these are Patty's favorite. And, oh, well, good. You guys are very experienced. There should be no problem. All right. All right. So we're coming up into our plank. We're going to reach that arm overhead. We're going to reach that ribcage to the ceiling. Bring that arm up. Reach it under. Bring it back up. Look at the hand. And lower back down. All right, last one, just 2. And up. Reach over. Come back up. And reach under. Come back up. Look at your hand. And all right. Yay, yay. All right, from here. Last little ab work. Reach that hand overhead. Reach that leg all the way out. So from here, you're going to imagine grabbing something over your head. You're going to pull it towards you as you hollow out your belly. You're going to scoop, pull the knee in, big scoop. Reach it back out. And exhale. And reach. And exhale. And reach. And reach. One more. And bring it back down and rest. You made it through one side. Yay. All right. Moving on to the other side. Let's see if we can remember everything.
Sure.
All right, we are going to. We're going to start here, right? We're going to start with our glute work. So remember here, right? Legs are bent, sorry. Legs are bent. We're gonna take that top leg, so the hand can rest in front of you. We're gonna take that top leg, we're just gonna lift it. The big key here is to take that knee and reach it out from this hip so that this hip is open and it stays open. Our foot is flexed as we press behind you. And then come right back to that start position. So don't come forward of the hip with the knee. And the more you keep your heel kind of pulling towards your sit bone, then the more you're going to engage that glute. And press it back. Good morning, Rhonda. And press it back. And back. 2 more. Keep that belly pulling up and in. Remember, opposition with the belly, right? We're going to press that leg back as far as you can. Hold here, and you're just going to pulse it back. Little pulses. Pulse, pulse, pulse. 3, 2. We're holding it there as far back as you can. Keep that belly pulling in. You're going to straighten that leg from the knee. Keep it behind you, and then bend it. And straighten, and bend. And straighten, and bend, straighten, and bend, and out. And 2 more. And last one. And we're going to straighten that leg one last time. We're going to hold that leg straight, and we're going to pulse it behind you. Keep that belly pulling up and in. Pull, 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 and 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee in and rest. So we're going to straighten both those legs out. So remember, the top arm is going to come to the forearm in front of you as you kind of roll in that direction. You're going to bend that other arm, and you're going to let your head rest on that other arm. From here, we're going to take that top leg again. We're going to lift it up. So from here, we want to keep the knee lifted to the ceiling. That's the key. That's where we're going to get into the glute med, and we're going to get into a different part of the glute. So from this position, we're in a flexed foot. We're going to press that leg back and forward and back. Try to keep that knee lifted. Ooh, I can feel this side. Oh my gosh.
You felt it yourself.
I did. Oh my goodness. 3 more. 3, 2. Now we hold it back there and we pulse it back. Little pulses. Work from that area of the glute that you're connected to, not the back. Keep that belly pulling in. 3, 2, hold it back as far as you can. Straighten that leg out. Bend it back in. Straighten that leg out. Bend it back in. So really keep that belly engaged here. Keep it picked up from that floor. Don't let yourself start to hang the belly to the floor. That's when you're going to get into that arched back. Remember, if the back is bothering you, just bring that leg forward a little bit more. We're going to press it out and hold. We're going to pulse it back on a straight leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here. We're going to internally rotate. Bring the toe forward in front of the other leg. Tap the mat. Press the heel up and back at an angle. And forward and down, back and up. And back and up. And 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down and rest. Good job. All right, we are just going to come back. We're going to go into our elbow position, right? Bent knees. So right here. And we're just going to take onto those toes, and we're going to bring our heels together. And we're going to think of that rib cage that's facing the floor, of picking it up and keeping it lifted. Right? So keep that rib cage lifted. Top knee. Just our clams. And up. And up. Oh my gosh, is the air on? I'm so hot.
You're hot?
I am, and I know the air is on.
It's on. You're in a corner.
I am. I'm kind of boxed in here.
Boxed you off.
3, 2, 1. For those of you who want to stay here, stay here. Otherwise, we're going to come up, right? Onto that kind of toe position. Yeah, lifting all the way up and then clamming here. Right, just doing those clams. And up. and up. And 3, 2, hold it open, lower that hip, and lift it back up. Lower that hip, and lift it up. And 3, 2, 1, and lower down. This side's definitely harder. Okay, lower down. Take those legs nice and long, moving onto that oblique. So hand is, or head is on the arm, hand is in front, legs are reaching. So really glue those legs together, right? Try to keep that body in that straight position. And we're gonna reach those legs out, we're gonna exhale as we pick them up. And inhale, lower them down. And exhale. And up. And up. And up. Good. And 2. And 1. All right. So remember on this one, you can stay exactly where you're at, but we're going to add that head. We're going to create kind of a tunnel under our armpit. So as we lift those legs, we're going to also lift the head and lower down. So just 4. And up. And really try to keep that body in that plank position. Lift, reaching the head and the feet away from each other. And up. And now, that extra little challenge, right? If you're ready, if you want to do that, our hand comes by our side. And this time as we lift, we reach that hand towards the feet, and then we come back down. And up. And down. And up. Try to get that armpit lifted one more time. And up. And all the way down. Good job. Take a breather. All right. What do we do next?
This one.
Oh, yes.
I didn't want to remind her.
I'm like, wait, what did we do next? Okay. So remember on this one, coming up to your knees to do all this work is perfectly fine. The feet, a lot more challenging. All right. So as we come up, we're gonna like reach into the arm, we're gonna lift that arm straight up to the ceiling, and then we're gonna lower back down. And again, and up. And down. And up, just 3, right? So that's 3, and down. So now we add in that reaching over the head and the under, right? So we come up. We reach over the head, we arch that rib cage, the top of the rib cage to the ceiling. We reach that hand to the ceiling, and then we reach it under. We bring it back to the ceiling, looking at the hand, and then we lower back down. And one more time, and up. We arch that rib cage up. We bring it back. We reach it under. We bring it back, we look at that hand, and then we lower it. Now we rest. You okay with the shoulder there?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
for some reason they hurt today.
All right, come back. Oh, we're gonna stay here. So last one, reach that hand overhead. Think of grabbing onto something, reach that leg away from you. So as you scoop out that belly, pull the arm in, scoop that belly out, and reach. And exhale. And reach. And exhale. And out, let's do 3. And 2. And 1. And bring it down and rest. All right, you guys, we're just gonna lay down on your back. And we're just gonna take those knees and we're gonna pull them into chest. We're gonna stretch out that back. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take our knees in our hands and we're just gonna do nice big circles with those legs. Just kind of pulling them in, opening them out. And good, nice big circle around, getting that nice stretch in the back. Let's do 2 more in this direction. And let's reverse it. Get that nice stretch in the inner leg, that nice stretch in the back. And 3, 2, and 1. Lower those legs down. And we are going to finish up with just a quick set of push-ups. You guys okay to do push-ups?
Sure.
Okay, all right. We're going to come onto knees. We're only going to do it from the knee position. So, you can blame Patty for this. Like, what kind of arms did you do on Monday? Oh, I did push-ups. Oh, yay. Okay. So, feet are up, putting ourselves in this plank position. Be really careful here that you're not going to lower that belly to the floor too far. I'd rather see your hips up just a little bit so that you're not in that arched back. We're going to start with fingertips gently pulling inward. Heel of the hand is outward. And this time as we lower down, the elbows are going to open out. And then you're going to exhale as you press straight back up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So you can adjust different ways here. Bringing the hands in a little bit further gives you a little bit more support, right? Hands out a little bit more, puts you more into that plank. So kind of pick your place. Let's do 2. And 1. We're going to take it halfway down. Hold, take those shoulders out of the ears and just do little pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it up, open those knees. Press yourself back to a child's pose. And then we're going to finish that up with parallel arms. So this time, fingertips are pointed right at the same direction as the shoulder as you come to plank. Taking those hands out will give you a little bit more room. This time the elbows draw in towards your body as you come halfway down. And then press up. And down. And up. Keep the shoulders out of the ears. Don't work from the front of the shoulders. If you start feeling anything in the front of the shoulders, right, you're not working from the back and the lats enough. So switch your thinking. 2, 1. Okay, we're going to come down halfway. We are not pulsing. We are just holding. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it up. Go right back into your child's pose position. And stretch that out. From here, we're going to scoop up our belly. We're going to come into a 4-point kneel position. And all we're going to do is some nice stretching. So from here, we're going to pull that belly in, rounding up through the back. We're going to tuck our head and our pelvis, like we're trying to reach our pelvic bone and our forehead towards each other. And we're going to come out of that, go into a nice straight spine. Let's do that again. Scoop up that belly. Tuck that pelvis, tuck that head. Feel that stretch come into the back. Pull that belly in even deeper. Come back into your neutral. And again, and up. Nice big stretch. One more time, coming back to our flat, going back to our scoop. And then we're going to come back to our flat. We're going to open those knees again, and we're going to sit back one more time in our child's pose. Try to make your back as flat as possible. Bring your head to the floor. You can take those hands back to your ankles if you prefer. Just let yourself kind of rest here. Take a couple of nice deep breaths in and out. Again, in and out. One more time. Inhale deeply and exhale. Go ahead and press those arms onto the floor. Curl all the way up. You can stay on your knees if you'd like. Now we're just gonna inhale, bring those arms up to the ceiling. And exhale. You guys are done.
Thank you.